In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of drawing a Lewis structure. Now, I have gone over how to draw a Lewis structure before. I taught you how to use a Lewis dot symbol, think about the sharing of electrons, and use that information to come up with a Lewis structure. And we did this for several different molecules. We drew the Lewis dot symbols of all the atoms in the molecule and shared electrons and came up with a Lewis structure. This method of drawing a Lewis structure works very well for simple molecules. But for molecules that are more complicated, this method becomes pretty tedious. And in those situations, we need a faster method for coming up with a Lewis structure. That's what I'm going to go over in this video. I'm going to give you a series of steps to follow to draw a Lewis structure, and while I'm giving you those steps, I'm going to show you how to apply them. The example that we're going to be using in this video is the nitrate ion NO3-. So when you're asked to draw the Lewis structure of a molecule that is a little bit on the complicated side, the very first thing that you need to do is add up the number of valence electrons that are in that molecule. So we're going to count the valence electrons of all of the atoms in the molecule, and in addition to that, we are going to add or subtract electrons from the total valence based on the charge, if there is a charge. So like in this case, we have an anion, we have a negative charge. That means that we're going to have to add or subtract electrons based on the charge. So in order to count up the number of valence electrons, we have to remember how many valence electrons are present in nitrogen and oxygen atoms in this case. And I want to remind you how to quickly get that information off of the periodic table. So when you're looking at a periodic table, all of the elements in group 1A have 1 valence electrons. These are 2 valence electrons, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Helium, the only exception, has 2. So just based on where the elements are located on the periodic table, that's how we determine how many valence electrons there are. We're working with nitrogen and oxygen, which have 6 valence electrons and 5 valence electrons. So here we're going to count them up for NO3-. We have 1 nitrogen atom, and each nitrogen atom has 5 valence electrons, which we saw off the periodic table. And then for the oxygen, we have 3 oxygen atoms. Each oxygen atom has 6 valence electrons, so altogether they're contributing 18 electrons. And then we also have that -1 charge on the anion. The -1 charge means that we have added an extra electron. So remember, a negative charge means that there's an extra electron. If this was a positive charge, so if this was a positive charge, we'd be subtracting an electron from this count. So we're going to add all of these up, and this adds up to 24 electrons. This is the number of electrons that we have available to us to work with when we're drawing our Lewis structure. So once we have figured out how many electrons we have, the second step to this is arranging the atoms. And the way that we arrange our atoms is by putting the first atom in the formula. So the first atom is in the middle. Just when we're looking at the molecular formula, the first atom, as we read from left to right, that atom is going to be in the center. And then all the other atoms are arranged around that center atom. So our oxygens are just located around the central atom, just kind of in this area out here. And we are going to connect the outer atoms to the inner atoms, connect all the outers to the inner with a single bond. So it's going to kind of look like spokes on a bicycle wheel. So we're going to connect them all like this. And this is how we start. Don't do anything crazy like connecting outer atoms directly to outer atoms. Nothing like that is happening. We're just connecting the outer atoms to the inner atoms. This is always going to be the rule of how you go about arranging the atoms. So as you're reading from left to right, the first atom is always going to be in the center, and then all the other atoms are going to be arranged outside, around it, connecting to it. If the molecule has any sort of different arrangement, that arrangement will be described to you before you start drawing the Lewis structure. So if you're not given a description of how to arrange the atoms, always assume that it's going to follow this trend right here. Now, after we've done this process, what we need to do is figure out how many electrons we just used to connect the atoms together with these single bonds and see how many electrons we have left. So we drew here 3 single bonds. Remember, every single bond has 2 electrons in it. So drawing these 3 single bonds, we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons. So that means that we have used 6 of our available 24 electrons, and we have 18 electrons remaining. And let's just put a note here that these 6 electrons came from 3 single bonds, each with 2 electrons. So after we've got that set up, then what we are going to do is use the remaining electrons to give an octet. Remember, that means 8. Give an octet to as many of our outer atoms as possible. And right now we're only working with the outer atoms. So we're just going to go ahead and we pick any atom to start with. Let's pick this atom right here. This particular atom has 2 electrons already around it. Remember, it wants to have 8. So we are going to add another 6 electrons in the form of lone pairs. And now this oxygen atom has an octet. And let's subtract those 6 electrons because we just used them. So now we have 12 electrons left. Now let's move on. Let's just choose this guy right here. This oxygen atom has 2 electrons in the bond, so it wants another 6. Remember, they all want to have 8. So we just used up another 6 electrons. That means we have 6 more left. And then we have one more oxygen atom. Same thing. It has 2. It wants to have 6. So that now it has 8. And that actually used up all of our electrons. So that means we can't add any more electrons to this structure. They're all there. Now again, with this octet, one more time I want to count for any oxygen atom, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons around it. That's what it means when we say give it an octet. Now when you're doing this step 3, I do want to warn you that for some molecules, I'm going to move this down. For some molecules, you're going to run out of electrons before you finish giving all of the outer atoms an octet. We will see some examples of that. And other times, you're going to give all of the outer atoms an octet and you're going to still have electrons left over here at the end. So it's not always going to work out perfectly the way this one did, where everybody got an octet and we ran out of electrons at the end. Sometimes you'll run out before you're done, and when that happens, you have to stop. You can't keep putting electrons if you've already run out. So what we're going to do next, step 4, which actually isn't going to apply to this molecule, we are going to use any remaining electrons to give the inner atom an octet. So if possible, we are going to give the central atom or the inner atom its octet. But like I said, that's not always going to be possible. And in this case, it's not possible. Our nitrogen in the center, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons around it. So it does not have an octet, but we don't have any electrons to give it. If we did have 2 more electrons here, we could go ahead and give that nitrogen 2 electrons and it would be happy. So at this point, we have to analyze our structure. If we have any atoms that do not have an octet, which we do have an atom without an octet, we are going to simply move lone pairs of electrons to bonds to satisfy any octets that have not yet been satisfied. And this is something that I haven't talked about yet in any of my videos. So what we have here is this nitrogen. Like I said, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs to have 2 more electrons. We do not have 2 more electrons to provide. So what we are going to do is pick a lone pair from any one of our outer atoms. We're going to pick any one of those lone pairs, and we are going to move that lone pair so that it's no longer a lone pair, but instead a double bond. So all that we've done is taken those electrons and moved them over here to make a double bond. Doing that has no effect on the oxygen's octet because those electrons are still associated with the oxygen. This oxygen still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it allows those extra electrons to be shared with the nitrogen. So now nitrogen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and everybody has the octet. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to put those back. When we came to this step and we needed to do this, moving a lone pair, we had a whole lot of lone pairs to choose from. That's 9 lone pairs. I could have picked any one of them to use to do this. And so when you have to do this, know that you can choose any lone pair to turn into a double bond. It's not going to matter. The only thing that you could not do would be take a lone pair but put the double bond somewhere else. So see what I just did right there? I took that lone pair, which was associated with this oxygen, but I transferred it over to a different guy. That's not going to be allowed. So wherever you take the lone pair from, you have got to keep the electrons associated with that particular atom. Now, because this is an ion, the last thing that we're going to do to finish this structure up is to put square brackets around the whole entire structure and write the charge of the ion outside of the square brackets in the upper corner. The square bracket notation is only used when we are dealing with an ion. So if this was not a charged particle, we wouldn't draw the square brackets at all. The square brackets are just there to help us draw attention to the charge that's in the upper right-hand corner because it's kind of easy to lose it in the middle of all of this other detail. So in the next video, I'm going to go through some more examples. I have 5 more examples of drawing Lewis structures so that we can practice this quite a bit.